Tom, welcome to Colombia. Welcome to FM. It is a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
What were your thoughts on Loki before becoming Loki?
Oh gosh, good question. So when I was a child, I had a deck of cards. There was a game in the UK that we used to play as children called Top Trumps. And there were different characters. It could be racing cars or motorcycles. And I had the Marvel superhero and supervillain Top Trumps, and every character was listed according to their height, weight, agility, speed, and superpowers. And so I just knew I knew all these characters from this game of Top Trumps, and I knew Loki from that. And I knew he had these big horns and a big green cape, and he was the villain in the Thor saga, and that he was a magician. So yeah, interesting character. And I remembered that I think in the film of The Mask that Jim Carrey wears is the mask of Loki. So I knew there was something fun about this ancient character. Yeah, that was my opinion.
So now that you know him, what advice would you give him?
Good question. What advice would I give him? I don't think he would be very open to my advice, personally. I think he would be quite resistant to taking advice from anyone, let alone a mere mortal such as myself. What advice would I give him? I would try to gently encourage him to get out of his own way, basically. I think sometimes he's his own worst enemy in that regard, but you have to be gentle with people like that. You have to sort of let them find their own way there.
So people like that, what do you and Loki have in common, if anything?
That's a good question. I really enjoy it when, Loki is the god of mischief. And I once looked up in the dictionary what the dictionary definition of mischief, and it says abstract noun, inclination to playfulness. And I love that. And so when he's at his most playful and he's trying to have fun in whatever situation he's in, that's when I feel I can connect with him. But other than that, I'm afraid I don't have magical powers. I don't even have long black hair. So
you could fix that. You could have the black hair and the long one. No problem.
I could do that. Yeah. But yeah, when he's having a good time, for sure. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably where the similarities end. I like that he's a kind of a thinker. He thinks about stuff, but he also gets in his own way. Maybe I do too. I don't know.
So if you could travel in time,
yes,
where would you go to?
Oh, that is a really good question. I'd love to go back to the ancient world because I studied Latin and Greek as a student, and I'd love to go back and see if it was all true. But I'd also love to go back and see original productions of Shakespeare's plays, for example. I think that'd be really cool to go and watch the first production of Hamlet or King Lear or something. That might be fun. I feel like Bill and Ted kind of got there sooner. They get in the booth, they go and meet Mozart and Abraham Lincoln and all these interesting people. Maybe that's what we should do. Yeah.
Tom, it's been a pleasure having you with us on Live FM. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Have a good morning. Thank you, guys.